Imagine scrolling through your Instagram feed back in 2016. What do you see? Supermodels like Bella Hadid and Emily Ratajkowski are lounging on pristine Bahamian beaches. The water is a perfect turquoise, the sand is brilliant white, and they're all promising an ultra-exclusive, ultra-luxury music festival. We're talking private jets, gourmet meals, and a lineup with huge names like Blink-182 and Major Lazer. It looked like paradise, and the tickets sold out in just a few hours, raking in millions of dollars. But when the festival-goers actually arrived, what did they find? Complete and utter chaos. Instead of gourmet meals, they got soggy cheese sandwiches in styrofoam boxes. Instead of luxury villas, they got disaster relief tents pitched in a gravel lot. There was no water, no security, and people were literally stranded in the dark. This wasn't paradise. It was a massive scam. Welcome to the Fyre Festival fiasco, a disaster masterminded by a guy named Billy McFarland. It's a shocking tale of hype gone horribly wrong, and it exposed the dark side of influencer culture. To really understand how this incredible disaster happened, we need to start with the man who dreamed it all up, William Z. Billy McFarland. Born in 1991 in New York City, McFarland grew up in a middle-class family. He had that entrepreneurial spirit early on, even dropping out of college after just one semester to start a digital business card company. That didn't really go anywhere, but Billy was a hustler, always chasing the next big thing. In 2013, at just 22 years old, he launched a company called Magneses. It was basically a black card for millennials. For about $250 a year, it promised access to exclusive clubs and VIP events. It got pretty popular, but right from the start, there were whispers of unfulfilled promises. Events would get canceled, and perks just wouldn't materialize. Still, Magneses gave McFarland a taste of the high life, and he started networking with elites. That's how he met the rapper Ja Rule, who was looking to expand his own brand. In 2016, the two of them co-founded Fyre Media. The idea was simple: an app to book celebrities for private events, kind of like an Uber for famous people. To launch this app with a huge splash, McFarland came up with the Fyre Festival. It was meant to be a luxury music extravaganza on a private island in the Bahamas, blending the vibe of Coachella with the exclusivity of a billionaire's party. He even claimed the island was once owned by Pablo Escobar to give it a bit of an edgy allure. The budget started small, but his ambitions quickly spiraled out of control. The hype machine went into overdrive in December 2016. McFarland hired a top marketing firm and brought in a small army of influencers, over 400 of them, including Kendall Jenner, Bella Hadid, and Hailey Bieber. They all flew down to the Bahamas for a massive promotional photo shoot. Think yachts, jet skis, and models frolicking in the water with those famous swimming pigs. Then, the teaser video dropped on Instagram. It was just a simple orange tile, and all at once, every influencer posted it with the hashtag FyreFest. They promised luxury villas, yacht accommodations, chef-curated meals, performances by Blink-182, Major Lazer, and Disclosure. Kendall Jenner alone was reportedly paid $250,000 for a single post. The tickets went live, the prices ranging from $500 for general admission all the way up to $12,000 for VIP packages. They even sold extras like daybeds for $400. And to top it off, McFarland pushed these cashless wristbands, encouraging people to preload thousands of dollars for their expenses. In just 48 hours, 95% of the tickets were sold out, pulling in an estimated $25 to $30 million. But the red flags were waving like crazy, even if no one saw them. The so-called private island was just a regular part of Great Exuma, right next to a sandals resort. It was far from a remote paradise. As for logistics, McFarland hired totally inexperienced teams. The festival site itself was a former gravel pit that was prone to flooding. As the festival date in April 2017 got closer, the cracks really started to show. Headliners like Blink-182 pulled out just days before, saying the production wasn't ready. Local workers who were hired to build the site started complaining they weren't getting paid. The caterers who were promised a huge budget for gourmet food bailed when that budget was slashed to almost nothing. All the while, McFarland was partying in New York City, frantically trying to raise more money from investors with fake documents, assuring them everything was fine. On April 27th, the attendees, Mostly affluent millennials, driven by a serious case of FOMO, boarded their chartered flights for Miami. What awaited them was a nightmare. When they landed, there was no customs staff, leading to hours of delays. They were then shuttled to a welcome party at a beach bar, where they were given free tequila while they waited in the dark with no schedule in sight. Finally, they were bused to the festival site. It was a muddy field filled with half-assembled FEMA-style disaster tents. There were no locks, no electricity, and their luggage was just dumped in a massive, unlit pile, sparking a chaotic free-for-all. The luxury villas? They were just regular tents with mattresses that were soaked from a recent rainstorm. And then there was the food. That infamous picture of the cheese sandwich, 2 slices of processed cheese on white bread, with a sad little salad in a styrofoam container, went viral almost instantly. Water was scarce, and if you could find it, it cost $12 a bottle. Security was non-existent. There were reports of theft, wild dogs roaming the site, and even assaults. There were no medical tents and no lights. People huddled in cars or tents. Some even built bonfires out of debris to stay warm. Panic spread like wildfire on social media as stranded guests live-tweeted the whole mess. The hashtag Fyre fraud started trending. One person compared it to the Hunger Games. Flights home were canceled, and eventually the Bahamian government had to step in and charter flights to evacuate everyone. McFarland made a brief appearance, gave a vague apology, and then disappeared. Ja Rule tweeted, trying to distance himself from the disaster. Back in the U.S., the lawsuits started piling up. The FBI launched an investigation, and in July 2017, McFarland was arrested for wire fraud. He was accused of misleading investors with fake documents, like forging a Bank of America statement to look like he had millions more than he did. Then, while he was out on bail, he started another scam, selling fake tickets to exclusive events like the Met Gala. He was arrested again, and in October 2018, he was sentenced to 6 years in federal prison and ordered to pay back $26 million. He was released early in 2022, and believe it or not, he's already pitching Fyre Festival to 2024, claiming he's learned his lesson. The festival left a trail of destruction. Attendees were out millions, and many Bahamian workers were never paid. One caterer, Marianne Roll, had to use her life savings to pay her staff. A GoFundMe later raised that money back for her. The influencers involved faced scrutiny for not disclosing that their posts were ads. And of course, the whole fiasco was immortalized in 2 hit documentaries on Netflix and Hulu. So, why did so many people fall for it? It's a perfect storm of social proof and the fear of missing out, or FOMO. We're wired to look to others for cues on what's cool and desirable. When you see hundreds of celebrities and influencers endorsing something, it creates powerful social proof. It feels real. It feels legitimate. No one wants to be the person who misses out on the experience of a lifetime. McFarland masterfully exploited our cognitive biases. He created a sense of scarcity with limited tickets and an exclusive vibe, which triggers that deep-seated FOMO. The pain of potentially regretting not going becomes stronger than any rational thought or caution. In the echo chamber of social media, all the hype and glamour completely blinded people to the red flags. Fyre Festival is a modern cautionary tale. It shows how vulnerable we can be in a world where celebrity and digital dazzle can drive our decisions. It's a powerful reminder to always question the hype, because sometimes that fear of missing out can lead you straight into a disaster. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories that reveal the truth behind the hype.